Yo guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be the next installment in the OP8 cookbook series we got going on, and it is none other than my favorite leader, Yellow-Green Yamato. This is a kind of hybrid amalgamation of a lot of different things, a lot of different builds that I was trying out in OP08, and something I've kind of settled on here, testing out OP08 for the Western meta side of things. Since Red Purple Law is gone, we have a little bit more freedom with Yamato again. We don't have to just like, oh, it's got to be Sky Aggro. We have a little bit more freedom, and we're taking a deck that I call EGGLOCK, which is just one because it's a fun name, and another just because we're taking elements of Egghead and the new 5-cost Carrot, which is an awesome card that lets you lock and stun things between these two. We have a new KO card with Nami. And it's just kind of mixing in all of the other, you know, Yamato things like Hody. We got our Rush Aces here and some of the events that work really well with the leader. So let's go over the deck and jump into some gameplay, but that's it for now. So let's get started. All right, so let's talk about the list. The new cards that we're seeing here from OP08, sorry, is Nami, S-Snake, and Carrot. And I think these are all great additions to this deck. Back when OP08 dropped in the East, I was running a kind of like more full Egghead build, which is really, really fun. You can do like, you can play the new Bonnie, even like the S-Shark, because it you can't block him when his effect is on. And I even ran the 1-cost, the I Rayquaza Help, the Egghead event. So if you hit it out of life, it's really strong, and it's just a 3k counter when you're at 2 or less life. But in the end, I kind of felt that like when that deck was high rolling, it was still really strong. With stuff like Nami and Egghead Luffy, it was actually pretty decent against Red Purple Law, because all you really needed to see were, you know, some of your rush cards, some of your rest and KO cards, and you still stood a really good chance. But now that Law is gone, we can kind of take a step back and we can build Yamato differently. It's nice when the meta allows for just a little bit more freedom, a little bit more fun with Yamato. And there are tons of different builds I think you can run in 08, and I will definitely be cooking a lot of them, so don't worry. One of my favorites is a Samurai version that I was running at the end of OP08 over here, so I'll definitely go over that as well. But today we're going to focus mostly on essentially these 3 cards, Carrot, S-Snake, and Nami. Just try and utilize them in tandem with each other in strong ways, and to combat stuff like LUCCI and the new starter deck Luffy that's popular in the West. We have things like Shirahoshi, Rush Ace, and 5-cost Ace and 10-cost Ace. So basically the game plan is simple, right? We are going to do Yamato things by swinging, you know, we can take the approach now of, you can, if it's a 4-life leader and they don't have a lot of blockers, you can just go heavy swinging at face. But if it's a 5-life leader, you can take your time a little bit now with some of these cards. If it's, you know, something like Doflamingo or Hancock or Zoro or something like that, you're going to be searching out, or like you're going to be wanting to find these cards and playing them out to stall. Basically stalling, setting up your own bodies, playing chump blockers in Shirahoshi when we can, establishing our own 5-cost aces, and applying pressure, essentially having our 5 costs be like a very strong board presence to deal with your opponent's board and help go for life. And then towards the end game, you know, just start finishing things off with things like 10-cost Ace and Hody for game. And then we also just can utilize the Ashura Demon 9 Flash, the Makusen event, and Flame Split to deal with, you know, any of the blockers on board and stuff. And as far as some of these ratios go, feel free to change them how you'd like. S-Snake, I don't think needs to be a 4. I just think she's a fun card, and in order to kind of like try and really test her out and demonstrate her strength, I think it's nice to run her at 4 so that we can see her enough. And the trigger can be pretty clutch, I'm not gonna lie, the trigger can be clutch. But you could always take this down to 2 or 3. Flame Split is definitely a card you could run at 4 in the OP08 meta, especially while like the Animal Zoro build and stuff like Kagura are kind of popular at the moment. Very strong into those decks, and just, you know, in general resting. But we have these for our 5-cost blockers, which Makusen is actually just so strong too against like the starter deck Luffy, because their Rebekkas, when their leader effect is off, become 5 costs. So Amaru and Flame Split do not rest them anymore, and Izo doesn't either. It's really unfortunate, but Makusen still does, which is really, really awesome. But yeah, that's the gist of the deck, you know, doing Yamato things, but now we have this added element of being able to efficiently like kind of KO or stun our opponent's board while we're setting up our own, going for lethal pieces, and then we just do Yamato things at the end and try and win. So let's jump into some gameplay, and yeah, that's it. All right, Lucci. I think Rush Ace is probably better in this situation. Shirahoshi and Rush Ace. Yeah, okay. At least we have Rush Ace. Or, I mean, Shirahoshi. Whiffed on Spandom, which is good, but what did he drop? That's not that good for us. But, oh well. We don't run Kikunojo in this build, but we do run Shirahoshi. And it's just because Law is gone, and it's just a decent card. I'll take this. He might just swing 5 here, which is going to be annoying, but... okay, Brook. Opting not to KO that, which I don't blame him. Honestly, I don't think it would have been the worst thing in the world. This might go through. He only has 4 cards in hand. Yeah. That's one of the things where that Spandom whiff really hurts, so we just gotta take advantage of it while we can, right? Okay, this is actually pretty good. He's milled a Moria. Another finger pistol we don't have to worry about. This smells like a Sabo. Problem is, if it's not Sabo, then we're just gonna go Banish again. Because unfortunately we don't have any other plays. He could go 5 or 6, that works too. Take this. Oh, okay. And then 5? Man, you really don't have any other plays? That's interesting. Okay. We really don't either, which kind of sucks. Oops. Like, trust me, man, this isn't exactly the way I want to play this game either, but... oh, man. That's kind of rough. I would have loved to have, like, played Rush Ace or something there instead, I'm not gonna lie. Because now all they need to do is start establishing 1 to 2 blockers per turn, and there's really not much we can do. So 7, this is Jack. He might even just KO both of these here. Free KO with Brook. No, not. Alright, I don't know what to expect from this guy anymore. So okay, he's gonna do a potential. This has gotta be Rebecca, right? This is Rebecca this time, yeah. I mean, we'll just take it. Okay. Alright, man. I mean, I think that frees us up to just do this then. Swing 8, play that. He'll have 2 attacks. There's nothing, yeah. I think we're fine. Because if he has to take this, then we're Gucci for the next turn to just go for game. S-Snake is good in these types of positions where it's like kind of just buying you a little bit more time. Carrot buys you time in the long run, right? With each time you attack, but S-Snake buys you slightly better, higher value short-term time because you can hit the active characters, whereas Carrot only affects the rested characters. So there's no way he can't go for lethal here. Okay, he's finally playing Moria or something. I guess he's been milling all of his jacks. I should have. Oh, well, he just milled that 4th one. S-Snake's probably gone, right? Maybe I should have just gone for game. No. There's good old Moria. Oh, no blocker though. This does obviously get KO'd. I guess blocker doesn't matter anymore, right? Interesting. I mean, this is what it is. It's either you got it or you don't. He might have it. Nope, okay. Yeah, he was bricked up pretty hard. That was a weird one. I think he was We definitely got a little lucky because his moles were, or his mills were like a little weird. Dropping all of his jacks, essentially. Yeah, neither of us had the cards that we wanted to see kind of in the beginning. But in that case, Yamato is favored, obviously, just because I'm like throwing these Onami banish swings at him. And, oh yeah, this Moria and this jack was a banish hit that they took. Yeah, I guess that's just one thing. I do think the, I guess the S-Snake move was okay. It just made sure that he definitely could not go for lethal, which was actually kind of important. Like if we had less counter in hand, then it would have been a lot scarier. And obviously you can see we had ace coming up next. We didn't draw any of our 10 cost aces either. So that was an interesting one. We both kind of like low rolled, but I think I'd say I definitely high rolled a little bit harder just from seeing the banish swings when we wanted them in the early game. But I really would have liked to have been developing board with like the rush aces and stuff. So, or even just get a carrot and a snake or something just to kind of like stop the bleeding a little bit. The unfortunate thing is too, carrot and snake don't prevent jack. Only 5 cost Bonnie can lock it. So that's something to keep in mind. He's not a 7. He's an 11 cost when he's on the field. So that is unfortunate. But yeah, GG's to them. This is what it comes down to a lot of the time. All right, black yellow, take second. I don't think I can keep that. All right, that's decent. 10 cost ace is actually really strong against black yellow Luffy. Carrot would be nice, but these are our late game cards. He whiffed. That's good. This is fine, but carrot is much better. Locking down their Sabos and their 5 cost Luffys is pretty huge. Ace is alright. I normally wouldn't swing here, but since we have the possible banish, we'll do that. This will be perfect, because if they had already healed or like taken life once, getting them down to 1 is kind of dangerous, but I think in this situation it's always fine to swing 7k banish. Yep. Because this just helps us go for lethal at the end of the day. Like, yeah, sure. I mean, they're like sort of setting up their trash. There you go. There he is. We're gonna play snake, so we can counter out of this if you want. I think we'll counter. Freeze. Oh crap! It's Luffy. I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb. I am so dumb. Alright, yeah. I forgot it's other than Luffy. In that case, we're gonna go down to 1 next turn. This is risky. Oh, so we can go down to 1, we can use leader effect. I think we'll just do this. Yeah, gotta remember, this doesn't work on Luffy's. Sabo and Ace is fine though. If we can get a carrot though, it would be very strong. I mean, he can finger gun us, he can do something, he can KO this ace, but then if he does, we won't be able to play out another big body. Okay, setting up for the next turn then. This is 8k. He's probably gonna go 7 and 9 here. Honestly, I might counter out of the 7. Oh, okay. Or 8 and 8. 8 and 8's probably pretty good too, huh? Yeah, sorry, bud. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, my friend. Now we're in a good spot because we can use the snake on Kuzan. 5, 7. Yeah, man, I'm not gonna rush this. We got 10 ace. We got 10 ace next turn. Like, we're so good. Onami clutch as always. What's he playing for 4? Another Kuzan? Oh my god, dude. Oh, we can't. We don't have a trigger. That sucks though. Oh well, it didn't matter. Yeah, Sabo. He played Sabo. That's fine. Oh dang, Carrot's actually pretty strong here. Good thing is he's not gonna be able to KO Ace. If he gives me a counter here, okay. Alright. this. Yeah, because I can just play Hody. If he can't get out of a 13. Yeah. If he takes this. Alright. I could play ace. Can he get out of 13? 7, 9, 11, 13. He would need so many 2Ks. If we play ace here, go up to 2, we KO this. Swing 12. He's gonna block. He has to block probably. I'm going for it. I think letting him set up, get to 9K and stuff might have been okay. GG. Yeah, he really should have thought of that. I mean, you may not always be thinking about 10 cost ace, but you always need to be thinking about Hody Jones for the Yamato player. Like, honestly, I didn't expect him to do that. That's why I was like kind of taking a second to think about that. I didn't expect him to take it. He should have always known that there's a potential 13K with Hody coming in, right? And if you don't do the math before and figure it out, then that's always a risky play. But here's the thing, is like we had ace. Like I was expecting him to just give me the counter. I was gonna play ace, go up to 2, get the block with this, and then yeah, he could, you know, play Hiyori and start setting up the next turn. But then we have like a menacing board, and he's probably not getting rid of anything. Because he would have had to play, he couldn't even play Moria because he needed to use Hiyori to get himself down to 0 life. Maybe he was just greedy and hoping I didn't have Hody, but yeah, that if you're a Black Yellow Luffy player, always be on the lookout for Hody. The other thing is, if we had Carrot early game, you could have seen how strong that would have been, but it was actually like unfortunate that they played out the Luffy, so we couldn't play this early, but then it ended up being totally fine because S-Snake stopped him from getting extra like value off of Kuzan. And like if we didn't have ace, we always could have just played Carrot, like kind of forced that same situation but not attacked with S-Snake, played Carrot, and then saved Hody for like the next turn or something, or just played out like another Shirahoshi. I could have, if I didn't have Hody or ace there, I probably would have just done Carrot and then another Shirahoshi, and that would have been 5 characters on board, and we would have been sitting pretty, and then hopefully drawing into our ace or something within a turn or two to help like try and go for game. But yeah, that was that's kind of, if you're not running like Sky aggro and if you don't have a super wide board that you can build, I think that's a very, Carrot is really good against Black Yellow Luffy. It just helps you control his board a lot. And S-Snake obviously very good, except against, obviously not good against 5 cost Luffy, so you got to be careful about that. We almost made that mistake. But yeah, that's kind of how you do it. I think running 10 cost ace in against Black Yellow Luffy is actually stronger than people think, in my opinion, because as Yamato, it's kind of hard for you to like stay up on life. But if you do play it slowly, and if they're just wasting all their resources playing finger guns and stuff all day to get rid of your board, then you're gonna be totally fine. Especially if you have the 2 cost Shirahoshi, you can heal up or just assure that they're not gonna be able to KO it with effects, and then you'll probably get down to like 1 life before they're gonna start awakening. You play out 10 ace, and then you have Hody in the pocket, or like hopefully you already have Carrot or Snake on board. Carrot is more preferred. You have Hody and ace in your pocket, and you're just going to be able to pressure them down. You may not be able to go for game the following turn after they awaken, but you're going to get the resources out of their hand, and as long as you have some counter in hand and 1 or 2 blockers on board, you're going to survive the following turn, and then you can actually go for lethal. So that's the game plan against Black Yellow Luffy. With Yamato, when you're not doing, it's a lot more similar to when you run the Samurai build against Black Yellow Luffy. You do not always have to rush them down. Yamato does not have to be played like a super aggro leader. The leader effect is just very powerful, but you don't have to play it as an aggro deck every single time. So I hope that helped showcase that a little bit. But GG's to that guy. He shouldn't have taken that, but I think we would have won anyways, so I still hope that's helpful to see. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. I hope that showcased a little bit of the power and like potential of cards like Carrot and Snake in Yamato, where you can change your game plan a little bit. You don't always have to go like aggro, slam their face, and like just go for life the entire time. You do have a little bit more options where with the stun locking cards and blockers like Shirahoshi and cards like 10 Ace in your pocket, you can play it a little bit slower, change your game plan a little bit, and you know, just you have a lot of options. Yamato is a very versatile leader, and there are a lot of versatile ways to play it. And yeah, so I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you've cooked any kind of like similar builds, if you like Snake or Carrot. I do end up cutting a Snake from a lot of my builds, but Carrot has stuck into a lot of these kind of like hybrid builds for Yamato that I make. And I have a lot of different other ideas for Yamato for OP8 and OP9 that I will be cooking and making more videos on, so stay tuned for those. But just as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.